And we're live.
We're live. I am like the least ready I am right now. I don't know.
Same.
And mind you, I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing anything except, just trying to like control this congestion that won't seem that's just lingering. And I don't know.
I am experiencing executive dysfunction.
Yeah, that's kind of that seems to be the theme for today, right?
Because in my head, I'm making a grocery list for Thanksgiving. I'm trying to decide what I'm going to do with my office. I'm like, fuck, I need mini blinds. And I'm still thinking about the tribble I pulled out of my bath drain this morning.
Oh, well, that's, you got to, because she's like, what? You got to do that like once every couple of months, I think.
It was traumatic. I did not realize how much my girls shed.
Well, yeah.
The shit kept going and I was like, holy shit, looked like a drowned goddamn tribble by the time I was done.
Yeah, that's why I like the what do they call it? The weasel wand you get from Home Depot.
It's like we got a little like snake, but
like it's this orange thing that comes with a crank and it's disposable. Right, but it's like I've been like I always make sure I have that in the house.
But on a lighter note, I did not stand in water when I was taking my shower this morning.
Well, that's true. Yes, that's the good thing.
That motherfucker drains now. It's like,
right.
Shit.
Because Drano, because if you use too much Drano, it actually damages your pipes.
This place is so fucking old. I'm afraid to use any corrosives in the pipes, like in the plumbing at all.
Yeah,
like I've got a phobia of that because one time I used the wrong type of Drano and the wrong type of plumbing, and I caused a lot of damage to a place that I had to fucking pay for, and it was not cool.
Oh no!
Because apparently it was in the lease, but I never read that part.
So, that's because nobody reads leases. That's why nobody reads that shit.
It's like terms and conditions.
I swear to God, there should be like something at the end of a lease that says, too long, didn't read, and then just sign it.
Good morning, everyone. It is November 18th, 2024, and this is the Ragin to the Vlogs.
Yeah.
This is a show about comics, believe it or not.
Right,
and
marketing
and shit.
Right. But always keep a drain weasel in your house. It's I swear to God, you need that.
Yes, get all the tribbles out of your drain.
Yes, exactly.
Yo, Lage, you ready for this shit?
Absolutely not. But hit it.
Trigger warning, fuck you.
And fuck you.
I swear to God, if there was ever a video that I think represents this show, it's that one. Lately. I swear to God. Oh my goodness. So who's joining us? Who's awake with us? Forget joining.
No. Good morning. Good morning, Melissa and Rob and Sean and Shane and everybody. And
hello.
Let's see. There's people.
Good morning.
There's more people too, but I can't pull them up. And Facebook might not be cooperative this morning. So if you're watching from Facebook, please come over to YouTube.
That's true. Yeah, you see, that's why we say that, right? And yes, we see you, our beautiful eyeball people watching us from regions beyond.
Hello,
hello. And muscles. Right. So yes, and if you are joining us from Facebook, especially if you're joining us from LinkedIn, if you're joining us from X, come on over to
Twitter.
YouTube.
It's Twitter.
Yeah,
it's Twitter.
on over to YouTube, join the sexy people in the chat. And while you're here, be even sexier and like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever any of our shows go live. As Nita was saying, Facebook is acting up again. So we don't know if we can read your comments from Twitter, which I find very annoying because we get a lot of people watch us from Facebook.
Right.
So it's kind of a little upsetting that we can't converse the way we should, the way we would like to. So yeah. So like I said, come on over to YouTube, subscribe while you're here, and that way it'll be a lot easier for us to chat with you. Yeah. So it's like, what else? I don't know. It's I'm having a rough time right now, but I guess we might as well just get this started. So hello, everyone. My name is Daphne Lage, and I'm a cartoonist, illustrator, and comic book artist from New York. I have been self-publishing comics since 1992, and you know what that means.
You don't understand. I ain't scared of you motherfuckers.
And I am known for the Furry Fantasy Adventure Tall Tales, which is in its last 11 days on Kickstarter right now, with the first trade paperback of Tears of the Mother, which collects issues 1 through 4 of this 8-issue story arc. Or as Jose put it last night on his show, this is technically volume 5 of Tall Tales because it continues directly from the Thief's Quest story arc. So volume 1 or volume 5, whichever you prefer, on Kickstarter right now. Link in the show notes and in the chat. And I am also known for my medieval fantasy drama Eagle Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn, which also returns to Kickstarter in January 2025 with issue 9 of this 16-issue series. You can read both my comics online at egoworks.com, EGOWORKS, and Tall Tales, TAILS online.com. And you can check out all my videos on how I make my comics here on YouTube with an archive of over 600 videos of draw streams and live streams and speed paints and everything, all the videos on how I make my comics at my channel at Daphne Lage, Lage Art, which also simulcasts through the Indie Comics Network. And to tell you more about it, here's Nita.
It's a YouTube channel, and we talk about comics and stuff, and you can find it at Indie Comics Net on YouTube and at Indie Comics Net in other places, or you can Google Indie Comics Network, and it just happens to come up.
Yeah, it's very easy. Yeah, it's very nice. It's very easy.
it's easy.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my goodness. But yeah, so it's like I'm like I said, it's like I'm still a little out of it because it's like I'm just coming off of a cold and the congestion is the congestion is still lingering, and it's annoying, and and of course it was more under control before I got on the stream, and now that I'm on the stream, it's like, oh, let's just flood the sinuses. So I'm going to be kind of like, hopefully not sounding like an old guy for a little, at least until 2 packs a day. Yeah, I know. Really, So, so how about you, Nita? How are you feeling?
Yeah. I think the edibles hit. It's
a long story. Right.
Well, anxiety is a bitch. Executive dysfunction is a real thing, and it has hit me to an extreme. Like I just had like a complete overload to where I just became paralyzed.
Yeah.
And so it was like, I got to get shit done. So I'm gonna get high and fuck around and find out in a little while.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Like sometimes that's because it's like there's it's like what's the saying that motivation follows action.
Right.
Motivation never comes first. That's a myth. There is no such thing as motivation. It comes after you start doing the thing that you're supposed to be doing, and then the motivation kicks in. But yeah, that's kind of that's executive dysfunction is awful because it's like there's just so much to do, and then the body's like going, you know what if we did none of it?
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. It's like there's just so much going on that it's like
Yeah.
there's no one task that seems like I
Right.
can fucking get through it. And so
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
yeah, all right, we got this now.
Right. And it's like, and it doesn't, make it easier when it feels like people are just throwing more and more on top of you. It's like, oh, by the way, do this, by the way, do that, by the way, it's like, and this and that and the other thing, and you have to do this, and make sure to do that. And it's like, no.
Yeah.
But you know what? Considering that I know that we're not the only ones who go through this, though, it's
Oh,
like,
absolutely not.
so it's like, so when you're feeling in this way, it's like where it's like kind of like, okay, there's so much to do. How do you decide, like, as opposed to just lying down and on the floor and just like waiting till the next day? It's like,
I eat an edible
and
I wait for that bitch to kick in, and it slows my brain down enough to where I will mosey and begin stuff.
right.
Like
Right.
that's just it. Like I
Right.
don't eat them like I used to, but yeah, when the anxiety hits and the fucking ADHD is like off the fucking charts, yeah, fucking shut that shit up. Get high and fucking roll with it.
Yeah, I think like the Buddhists would call it the monkey brain, where it's just like it just keeps going, 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 going. And it's like, yeah, and it's kind of like figuring out how to slow it down enough. So you can at least it's like Rob says, I just focus on what is due first or can knock out the of my list the fastest. Oh yeah, those are good.
That's absolutely
Yeah. Like what's yeah, it's like mostly, yeah, it's like that's a good, like, which one, like you kind of like just choose one. Okay, which is the fastest I can get done, or
always
which is
what's
due
due
right
first.
now. Yeah.
Always go with what's
Oh,
due
yeah?
first. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Because I don't know, sometimes knocking the thing that's the fastest, it kind of
Might
gives you
motivate you to
that,
get on the other.
yeah, because it kind of like gives that snowball effect where it's like, oh, I got this off the list. And then it's like, and again, then the motivation will kick in. And then is there a bad way? There's always a bad way. Even just chipping away a little bit at a time is still progress. Right. Yeah. So it's yeah, because sometimes it's like, yeah, it's like you do the smallest thing first that you can knock off the fastest. And then, like I said, that activates the motivation.
Okay, so what do you do when nothing is small on your list? Everything feels like the impossible task.
Oh, well, then you do what Rob said. The first thing, I was like, okay, what absolutely has to get done first? What's the which is the one with the latest, well, with the earliest due date? Yeah, with the earliest due date.
Right.
So you kind of have to kind of like weirdly logic logic your way out of it, well, yeah, the long-term goals are a little harder because it's like they give you a false sense of security.
Yeah, I got time.
Were you the type that always waited until the last minute to do like stuff in school, or were you like
no, not at all. Like that was the advantage of ADHD in my fucking youth. I was the fucking kid that people wanted to be on the project with because I'd do the motherfucker myself because I'm not waiting for your ass.
Right. And then they would take the credit, and then they would take the partial credit for it. Right. Yeah, just by being there.
Right.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I was the type that didn't like waiting either. Although yeah, although the thing is, though, there is that I do like having deadlines, which is why I keep fussing with schedules, just so just so I have something to focus on. But sometimes that isn't like a deadline, especially when it's my own self-imposed deadline. Sometimes it's not enough to
I don't scare myself enough.
Oh,
like,
yeah?
I'm gonna send you to HR for saying that. Yeah. Oh, okay, bitch.
Okay. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's not the same. It's not
right.
the same.
But the thing is, I think that's also the reason too why I've been kind of like wanting to add conventions back to my schedule. Like now it's kind of because it's like, because Kickstarters for a while, I've been using that as the deadline. Right. like I'm still working on issue 9, but I know that I have to have it done by January. I mean, it's obvious it's going to, but this issue is taking a bit longer than I had wanted. But I was like, but the way I kind of like rationalize it is that, well, as long as I have it done by January in time to launch, I'm good. I can be working on it the day before, like the night before, but as long as it's done and I can launch, then that's it, because I refuse to launch if it's not done. Like that is one rule that I really do have a problem breaking. That is, if the comic is not done, I do not run a Kickstarter. The Kickstarter waits, because I really don't want to break that rule. I think that there was only one project that I didn't have finished. It was a short that I did for one of the Oswald Chronicles. It was the Eagle Raven Oswald crossover story. And Jose ran the campaign before I finished the book. And it was like the most uncomfortable feeling, because the campaign ended and I still wasn't done with it. So, and I after I finished it and got everything out, I told, I said, it's like, yeah, there's a reason why I have this rule. It was very uncomfortable, like knowing that people were waiting for. Luckily, it was just a digital reward. So it's not like we had to wait for it to get printed, but still though, but it was very uncomfortable knowing that people were waiting for this reward. So it only reinforced my decision to never run a campaign with an unfinished project. So I don't, so it's like, so it's like, I'm working on issue 9 now, and it's like, okay, I have a rough idea. I do have a date in mind for when I want to launch the campaign, in January, but if I don't make it for some bizarre reason, I mean, I'm more than halfway through the book. I should have this done in like the next 3 weeks. Let me not say that. But I should have this done before the end of the year. And and it's like, as long as I meet that, I'm fine. Of course, that meant that the 2 Tall Tales books that I also wanted to get done before the end of the year, that's not happening until January. So once I'm done with this book, I have to go straight into the Tall Tales issue, because that's the next campaign that I have to run. So but the thing is that it's just a lot going on, and I think and I think that forcing myself to have like actual deadlines, like say, because like a convention, right? Like those dates are out of my control. It's like, I'm either ready for that convention or I'm not, like I remember back years ago when we would do San Diego Comic-Con regularly, because we had to go through the approval process, which required us to hand in new material. We had to have new stuff done, just to be able to get, to go through the process of getting the small press table for San Diego. So that was a deadline we had to meet, or we couldn't get the table. So so that became its own motivator. But after a while, it's like, okay, you know what? Also, like I said, it's like, I think like the conventions are kind of like just something different to do again lately. So yeah, that's what I do. That's what I do. I just start like adding deadlines, and then like most of the time it works. Hold on.
Yeah, my own self-imposed deadlines do nothing for me. Because I'll be like, oh, I got to get this done.
Right.
Unless somebody else gave me that deadline.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of that's what I have to that's what I keep tricking myself. It's like, oh, somebody else. This is a deadline from somebody else. Um but yeah, so it's like, yeah, so yesterday, right? So yesterday on Jose's show, right, which is a pretty interesting show. So they were talking about, like, their main topic was talking about, like, um how they were dealing with the changing environment, like in comics, especially going into the new year. I guess just the changing environment in general, because honestly, I don't think there has been anything staple in or predictable in comics for a while.
Huh.
Um, I think like the last biggest change that happened in comics was Kickstarter. First it was print on demand, then it was Kickstarter. Or I don't know, maybe they kind of like came around at the same time. It's like it was kind of like a kismet type of thing, like two things that allowed each other to happen. Um, but yes, you were on that show, Grant. And so it's like, if you missed that show, so if you missed that show yesterday, it's in the playlist, in the archive of the channel, so you can check that out. Talking Comics on a Sunday with JD Calderon. Um, and and the thing is, though, it's like, so they said, so, what are you doing, right? So everybody had their different strategies, right? And I had made the joke, in the chat, that it's like, oh, porn, lots and lots of furry porn. That's going to be, 2025, right? The thing is, I wasn't joking. I wasn't really joking. The way that the House of Bob campaign went, and mind you, I finished the first batch of commissions. Actually, after the show, I have to go to the post office to get everything out. And then now I'm going to work on like the last half, which is all, now these are all the custom commissions
Right.
campaign. So now I have to start on those. And and then what we were talking about, on Friday, I think, with the whole like kind of like werewolf boyfriend series that I'm trying to like figure out.
Right.
And I think I kind of have, I guess, like the crux of the idea that I'm working with. And oh, hey Lou, and it's like, so yeah, so it's kind of like that weird, everything comes in a full circle, everything at time is a flat circle type of thing. Where it's like, well, it's like, at least if this plan doesn't do something for the Omega verse girlies, I'm going to accidentally reinvigorate my furry audience.
Yeah,
So
tap into something.
yeah, something, right. And all I know is that the new pieces, if you haven't seen them, they're on my Facebook. They're the first two werewolf boyfriends. And I'm getting kind of like really weird responses to them. Like, but they're weird only because they were unexpected. Let's just say people are paying attention to them. So it's like, okay, I feel like I'm on the right path. And there's a couple of like things, like I'm finally putting together an order for Wuacry, that Chinese manufacturer that I was talking about.
Oh yeah.
With the acrylic standees. I'm finally putting together like a sample order for them. And I'm doing something with, I'm going to play around with double-sided acrylic standees with those characters. And then, yeah, yes, exactly, right? It's sweatpants season. And I'm gonna try some acrylic standees with that, and some stickers, and I sent you, and I sent you a couple of samples of stickers that I was playing around with. And it's like, I feel it feels so wrong but so right at the same time.
Welcome home.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, so yeah, so it's just kind of nice to kind of have this like more tangible idea as to like how it's not that I'm switching over into anything. It's just that I'm just adding to what I have already. Because it's like I said on the last show that I don't like the feeling of starting over. Like every time something changes, it's like oh, we're starting over. And it's like, at least this one, it feels like I'm just adding to what I'm doing already. It doesn't feel like I'm starting over. It's just that the hope is that it attracts a different audience. So we'll see. We'll see. Also, another thing that I was going to make it really, really important going into 2025 is that 2025 is going to be the year I definitely try to keep my peace as much as possible. I think that for this past year, I've allowed way too many people live in my head, and now it's kind of time to clear that out. It's kind of time to clear out the apartment, clean out the apartment, give it a nice coat of paint, maybe remodel the bathroom, but just like, kind of like clear all those voices out. And and the thing is, it's like I'm not just talking about malicious actors. The people, the rage bait actors who are just going to say whatever stupid shit they need to say for engagement. Just to get, and it's like, what? It's like, it's not just those, not just those people. It's like, what? I've decided that I'm going to let those people just self-immolate. It's like, I think it was Rick Rubin who said that there's, no, it was, what was it? He was the ultra marathoner. I forgot his name. He had said that there's a difference between being a provocateur and performing a public self-immolation. And I'm going to allow these people perform their self-immolations. It's like, what? Your nonsense has nothing to do with me. So I'm not paying attention to it. It's like mute, block, the whole thing. It's like, what? I'm not interested in your nonsense. So, scrape that plate. That's what we were talking about, right? But also the other thing is that even like getting too much advice, right, can also sometimes be a problem too. Like I said, I've been spending a lot of time watching all these Artist Alley videos and these Artist Alley girls and the stationary girls, and and as benign as you would think that is, that
it will overload you.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I really started feeling, that it's like very overloaded, very overwhelmed. It's like, oh my God, this is what all these people have to do in order to make it at conventions. I can't compete with that. And then it's like realizing that, wait a minute, that has nothing to do with me either. It's like they're representing a very different, something different than what I'm doing. So it's like, yeah, it's like I like a lot of the ideas, but at the same time, it's like it's too much. Again, it's like too much chatter. That it just keeps the monkey talking. It's like just, and that's also something that's like I want to like really cut down on as well. So what I did was, absolutely, Grant. Absolutely.
But she does best.
That's what I do. That's what I do. And you see, and that's the problem, right?
We overthink, so you don't have to.
Right. So what I am attempting to do is try to cut that down and try to focus a lot more. It's like, what do I have to do? What can I do? Again, going back to Stoic philosophy, you can only control what you can control, right? It's like, I can't, if it's out of my hands, I can't worry about it. You know, if it's too far, you know, it's like if it's in the future, I can't worry about it because I can't control the future. You know, it's like the past is gone, the past is done, and the future doesn't exist. So I can only focus on what is in front of me. Right. Again, it's like, and then going back to like narrowing down what are the most important projects, where are the closest deadlines, what's the fastest I can get off my list. Right. You know, so in the end, what I ended up doing is that aside from very specific people, and it's people in our circle, I pretty much unsubscribed to all of those channels, all of those Artist Alley girlies. I unsubscribed to all of them. Because it's like, you know what? It's like, look, I figured that the YouTube algorithm is going to keep recommending the videos to me anyway. So technically I'm not missing anything if I'm not subscribed to them. And also because I'm not subscribed, it allows them to cycle out of my feed.
Right.
So, you know, and the thing is, it's the same thing.
In an obsessive loop.
Right.
That's what I'll do.
Yeah. Well, that's what the algorithm wants to do. That's what they want to create for you. Obsessive loop.
They want to keep you there.
Right. You know, and it's like, you know, and it's like, I kind of like stopped watching reels on Facebook. That's like, oh, do this in Artist Alley and that, and you know, so it's like I stopped doing that. And again, I went through and muted a lot of people on my list. It's like, okay, you know, it's like I can't have your voice in my head anymore.
Right.
You know, it's like it's very rare that I block. And it's like when I usually I just unfriend when I'm done. But most of the time, it's like I just like kind of like mute, and it's like, okay, I'll get to you later when I'm in a better headspace, right? So it's like, yeah, so that was something that it's like, okay, I really like going into 2025. It's like I really want to get off my train. You know, like I don't want like I'm going to have enough that I have to figure out what to do, that I need the brain space for that. And I can't have other people there.
No.
You know, so that's, you know, so it's like, yeah, so it's like, so that's why I was like kind of glad. Well, I was actually glad to figure out this whole thing with the werewolf boyfriends, you know, and it's like, and kind of like, how do I tie in that lore? Because everything on my end has lore. So it's like, how do I tie in the werewolf boyfriends with House of Bob? You know, and it's just like trying to figure out that lore and how to connect the two so that it doesn't feel like a completely separate thing. So, you know, and so I was like really happy to kind of like, because the thing also, I might need some help with this as well, right? So I started doing, so I took two of the werewolf, I only have two werewolf boyfriends so far, and I started making like little stickers of them with like some kind of like fandom related saying or something, and now it's like I'm going, oh, I'm going to need to do that with House of Bob too, like take the mascot girls, yes Grant. Yes. And, you know, like take the mascot girls and do something similar with them, where it's like maybe like each mascot girl, I gotta find that sheet. I know I have it somewhere. Where it's like each mascot probably has like kind of like a key saying that kind of works as like a generic sticker mantra. You know what I mean? You know, and then it's like, so then that way, like, I guess like general people, whether they're furries or kinksters or whatever, like they would relate to what's being said on the sticker. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
You know,
I get it.
yeah, because it's like if there's one thing that I kind of got like a run, like was very consistent in all of these Artist Alley videos is that the stickers they kept saying sold the best were the ones that had like quippy sayings on them.
Right.
Like just the character, having the character just wasn't enough, although they had those too. But the ones with the quippy sayings, you know, would sell the best. And it's like, well, I could do that too. You know, it's like what quippy. So I would need, yeah. So it's like, especially on the House of Bob side, I would need some kind of like double entendre sayings or something to work, you know, to kind of like work the sticker kind of, or you know, like work the concept. So at least I too could end up a sticker girly, but you know, at least you know, it'll be a combination of these are my characters with the saying,
Right.
as opposed to just being like generic, you know,
Generic.
really generic
Right.
stickers, right? Because that's the one thing that I am not interested in. And that's the thing that I can give Sam. We talked about Sam on the last show, Sam Vera. And that's the thing that I think really resonates with what he does, as opposed to like what a lot of these other girls are doing. Like most of the Artist Alley girls, their goal is to be as generic as possible with their product.
Right.
So that anybody can resonate with them and anybody can, it's like, oh, it's like, like I think like bunnies are big right now in that circle. And it's like, and it seems like every Artist Alley girly is like bunny, and and it's like, okay, now but with Sam, it's like,
Yes.
yes, so that's what we're talking about. Yes. And and it's like with Sam, it's like he wants you to know you are not getting something generic.
Right.
Like Duty is not a generic character. Like you can tell that this is a character, not like but like very specific to him, not kind of like a very generic, oh, this is a generic bunny character, this is a generic kitty character or something. It's like, this is like, no, you buy my sticker for the cosplay and the fact that my character is in it, and it's like, oh, those are Sam's stickers,
right
so that's where I want to lean at, where it's like you have my characters and it's like they're not generic. There is no way you can confuse them with anybody else's stuff. That it's like, you look at these, you look at my characters, you look at these stickers, you look at these prints, it's like, oh, that's Daphne's work. It's like, oh, those are the monster boyfriends, those are, or this or that or the other thing. There's House of Bob, there's yeah, I still haven't come up with I don't know, like a title for the werewolf boyfriends that, kind of like House of Bob, because it's like they kind of don't belong under House of Bob. So I'm still trying to figure out their own their own titles, their own like subtitle to work with. So I'm still trying to figure that out. And it's like, oh, that's, so it's like, oh yeah, so it's like, oh, that's Eagle Raven in cosplay, that's House of Bob, that's the werewolf boyfriends or whatever they're called. It's like, oh, that's Daphne's work. So that's my goal. It's kind of like the opposite of what the Artist Alley girlies are doing, where it's like their goal is to create something so generic and so Hello Kitty that it has like so broad appeal. Anybody can essentially, like, you could have multiple girls coming up with the same concept and they look identical. It's like it's, no, I don't want that. I want to be associated with my work. It's not just, this is just a product I just want to sell. That's not why I'm doing this. It's like, no, I want you to know this is me. This is my artwork. These are my characters, just like the way, Sam does it.
ABS boys, Daphne. ABS.
ABS.
Alpha, Beta, Sigma.
Oh, they're right. The fraternity idea.
Frat boys.
Right. Although what's funny though is that
and it spells abs, which is,
Oh, very nice. Clever.
Yeah,
Clever. I didn't because I was about to fight you on that going, oh, but the actual fandom is ABO, Alpha, Beta, Omega. Oh, hello.
Right.
But you know what? I kind of like that. The Alpha, Beta, Sigma fraternity, fraternity of alpha boyfriends or something or whatever. I don't know. We're still playing around with it. We're still playing around with the idea, but I need, so it's like I still just have to figure out that subtitle. So it's like, so it's like we have Eagle Raven, we have House of Bob, and then we have whatever the boys are doing. Whatever the boys are doing. And and the thing is though, it's like, and like I said, I've done 2 prints already. It's on Facebook if you want to see the censored versions. I have an uncensored version on Blue Sky. So it's like I'm actually having fun with these pieces, which is a good sign. Because the last thing that I wanted to was to feel like I was forcing myself to do something, which is a very easy line to cross, because I almost did that with the Eagle Raven cosplay pieces.
Right.
And it's like that's also another thing too that I want to go into 2025 with. If I don't feel like doing it, I don't do it. So it's like I'm not going to force myself to do 12. It's like, because that number, it's like, oh, do 12. It's like Melissa says, oh, do 12 so that you have a zodiac. And I go, oh, I like the zodiac idea,
right?
But I don't want to force myself to do 12.
Right.
And it's kind of like the same thing with the Eagle Raven cosplay prints. It's like, I only want to do them if I have a really good idea for a piece. I don't want to force anything. Right. Because it's like, like the 4 pieces that I did already, I do like. I think the weakest one is the last unicorn one, the Amalthea one, but only because like her costume doesn't have much going on. So it's not like it's very easy for me to be flamboyant with the piece. I probably should have done something with the Red Bull if I wanted something a little bit more oofy. But if I feel like it, I'll eventually do it. But I don't want to force a piece out.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah, because it's like that alien piece, right, was completely left field. Right.
That was great though.
But it was so funny to do that I really enjoyed the way it was coming out, that even though Alien has nothing to do with my creative process, the piece is still funny. The piece is still really good. So I want to keep that vibe going into 2025, that whatever you get out of me, it's because I really wanted to do that piece. Right. Not because I felt like, oh, I have a deadline, I have to have X amount of prints, I have to do, I don't want that, because I would rather have fewer really good pieces than a lot of mediocre ones.
Right. Quality, not quantity.
Right. That because that's always been a thing, for me. It's like, seeing people just crank out stuff for the sake of cranking stuff out, and like they have like a lot of product, and then they're complaining about like, oh, a lot of stuff doesn't sell and this, that, and the other thing. It's like, right, because you're not. If you had concentrated on doing less but better work, you might not have so much of a problem with items that don't sell. Right. So because I think people can sense that, if can sense that you just cranked something out.
Well, sure.
As opposed to like, oh, this piece looks like she had fun doing it. niche bait. Yes, exactly. And yeah, I think that's what it feels like. What I'm doing is that I'm niching down. I'm like, really, that it's like, what? It's like, this is my burrow, and I'm and it's like, we're going to, like, instead of expanding it, we're actually going to, like, make it even more cozy. That you're going to come to my table and you're going to go, oh yeah, that's, hey Pete. It's like, oh yeah, that's Daphne's work. That's Daphne's place. These are Daphne's stickers and her prints, and yeah, I feel a lot more comfortable now. And I want to keep that vibe going into 2025. So I want to keep that piece. So first, we want to empty out the head. Nobody lives there anymore. Everyone's getting evicted. It's like, just focus on what I have to do. So like in terms of, okay, so we know the comics are up here. Okay, so I know that these are the comics. So I have, from 9 to 16 of Eager Raven that I have to finish. I have Tall Tales 7 and 8 that I have to finish, right? And then I have, whatever I'm doing for House of Bob, like all the commissions. Like right now, I have all the commissions for House of Bob that I have to do, right? And then it's like figuring out this whole monster boyfriend thing that I'm percolating, right? And then it's like, and then it's like, well, I guess like all the Eager Raven cosplay prints would go up, would that would be under Eager Raven, because it's like, I want to like play around with that idea as well. Although that one, so it's like, so that I think would be more prints, and then like House of Bob and Monster Boyfriend, whatever they are, they would be more like the stickers type of thing, the sketchbooks and the stickers, and like more adult oriented stuff. So it's like Pete goes, yeah, you have to have a vibe style that's recognizable at cons, especially for your art. Apparently my paintings are so retro pop, and my prints and dark anime mashups. Because Pete, I always recognize your stuff at a show,
right?
Because it does look retro, it does look pop art. Like if you started putting the little dots in them, like it would fit right in,
right?
In the artwork, it would fit right in. You put in those silkscreen, dots, and but because that's the thing. It's like, if I'm going to go through the trouble of going back to conventions, I want to stand out. I don't want to blend in. And I guess the other benefit of seeing all these, like I just, like before the show, I just watched a video of this person, this creator, who they made their table to look like a grocery store. Like it has a lot of props, like they're a stationery store, right? But their whole prop is like, oh, it's a grocery store themed. Right. And I've seen that. Right. And I remember talking about, it's like, oh, I would really like to do like a castle theme. Right. I think the ironic thing that I'm getting out of this is that all these girls in Artist Alley are being so elaborate with their displays that I think in the end, the best thing for me to do is to go is for me to go in the opposite direction. Like, try to keep my display as simple as possible, like the way I was showing you the other day.
Back to Kiss.
Right, exactly. Just have like the one tower, right, with the display items on it, and just leave it at that. I'm not going to create this whole elaborate booth, right, that looks like a castle. It's like, no, you're just going to have the grid with the comic book panels on it. You're going to have the books stacked on them, and the books open, and then it's like, when the stickers or whatnot, however we're going to work it. I guess
table.
Right, that it's going to be something that I can change depending on the convention, because the comic book panel thing is not going to work for me if I ever get a table at Monster Erotica and this whole werewolf boyfriend thing kind of, builds up, right? So it has to be something that it's the same setup, but interchangeable depending on what IP. Hate saying it like that, but it's the only way I can clarify it right now. Which IP I'm pushing. Yeah, you should see. No, they're crazy.
I've seen some online. They're fucking nuts.
Right. And it's like, yeah, and that's why I think that it's like, you know what? I'm not building the Eiffel Tower. Maybe in the end, I have to like go in the opposite direction and just stick to simple. You know, again, scrape the plate, get rid of all the superfluous, you know, like ideas, because it's like in the end, yeah, exactly. And yeah, that's the thing. It has to be.
Get out of here.
It has to be, you know, and that's the thing too. The display has to be interchangeable depending on what the theme is for the show. So, like, because it's like, if I do a comic book show, it'll be a different theme than if I do Monsterotica or if I do a literary convention. You know, if we do that show in Orlando, what was it? Yeah, I know. It's ridiculous.
Megacon, or no, wait, that wasn't.
Well,
Megacon
yeah,
it is.
No,
Megacon
we were talking about Smut Conference.
Oh, that
Conference
one
in Orlando, right? So it's like we would have
one on here.
No, that was on. I mentioned it on the last one. That's the one that Lorraine mentioned, road trip, and I told her that I don't think you want a road trip on that one.
Yeah,
you know, yeah. So she'll go hiking,
look,
right?
She
so
totally
I said,
needs to come with us. No,
right,
she's coming with us.
Right,
sit right here on Daddy's lap and sell some books.
Now she can go hiking while we handle the show. So I'll
fine. You can sit on Daddy's lap.
Right, exactly. Right, and I go, you want a sticker? So yeah, it'll completely work out. So yeah, so we would need a different, you know, setup for that show.
Right.
But it would be the same base, but just interchangeable. Because yeah, I know.
Right.
These kids literally are building castles on top of their table.
They are. It's fucking insane.
You know, like it's crazy. Like it's too much. It really is too much. Like maybe if I was like I swear to God, the absolute nonsense I would have gotten involved with if I was 20 right now seeing this shit. You know? I mean, really, it's like now I do not have nowhere near the energy for that shit. So you know what? Yeah, we have to go cozy. We have to go simple. We have to go, you know, we have to go as easy as possible, as stress-free as possible into 2025. You know?
Yes.
You know, no, it's like no drama, just work. Or at least try to keep the drama as little as possible. Yeah, you know, because it's like, look, in the circles that we
block and block often.
Yes, you know, and that's really, especially going into 2025. It's like there's still a lot of bad actors out there who they're put engagement above everything.
Yeah,
you know, and it's like, and they have no qualms destroying your piece for that engagement, you know. And it's like, look, bro, do your comics, mind your business and do your comics. You know, it's like, if you're going to come in my space and try to, it's like, no, I'm not even going to tell you. You're just going to be talking into the wind. I'm going to treat you like the Fiverr guys.
That's the best way to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? This is not an airport. I don't have to announce my departure.
I don't even over there.
Right. Exactly. It's like, right. It's like, I don't even have to announce your arrival. You know, it's like the flight is canceled. You know, so it's like, yeah, it's like, so I'm not tolerating that, you know, because I can't anymore. I can't. It's like, you know what? This is not, it's not what I want to do to sell my art. It's not what I want to do to sell my books. So why would I engage in that?
Right.
You know, and I think the more of us realize that, I think it'll be better for all of us as a whole. That it's like, it's like, look, the algorithms are built, they are designed for engagement, and especially they're designed for negative engagement, and especially for addictive negative engagement, and that's not healthy for anybody. So 90% of comic creators on YouTube live for drama, only shit, drama, only shit. Only some of them don't even make stuff. Yeah, they don't. Yeah, I know,
they're
right?
too busy creating drama to create a fucking book.
Yeah,
That's all they
the rest
can
don't
fucking
talk
do.
about their books. It's messy. I'm not a content creator. I make stuff. Yeah, and you see, and that's the thing that I also had to like. I'm still kind of coming to terms with this part, right? Because it's like I still have this like kind of like nagging feeling, right? This nagging voice in the back of my head that I should be doing more YouTube videos, that I should be documenting my process more, that I should be like, when I go to conventions, I should be documenting going to conventions.
Right.
Right.
But that's just going to consume your time. That could be elsewhere.
Right. And it's like, because
I mean,
it's like,
you're doing usually 3 streams a week.
Yeah, usually, but more like 2, right? When I fit in
you're documenting your process on your stream through,
right,
and talking about it here. So I mean, it's like, really, who wants to fucking be live more than fucking 6 hours a goddamn week anyway?
Right.
Sometimes I get tired of being on. Like, I'll be in the middle of a
Right.
fucking vlog sometimes and be like, God damn, is this over yet?
Right. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know?
No, really. It's like, so that's the, and it's like, yeah, like,
well, absolutely. There's still importance in what we do. Oh,
yeah. Oh, let me read that. I stream on YouTube, Twitch, but it's for me
right.
and for documentation so people can see that I make this stuff from scratch. You have to do that
Right.
now. No, absolutely. Absolutely. And I think that I kind of get my point across with my draw streams, that it's like, yes,
Right.
I draw this stuff myself, and it's
Right.
like, and even I guess it's the way my artwork looks. I mean, it's like, I don't know anybody who would want to draw like me purposefully. I mean, it's like just me. It's just me that wants to draw like this. Yeah, so I kind of have to like, which is also another reason why I want to get these Artist Alley girls out of my head, because we're talking about, these are all like Gen Z, these are all mostly like Gen Zers, and and they're just out of college, and and they're just filming everything, like they've lived on YouTube, they grew up creating content, so that's already part of their personality already. Right. And again, I have to remind myself that it's like, I am not a content creator. Yeah, I document, we document our process. I document my process. Just the fact that we sometimes, just now, just talking about, okay, what do I do with these monster boyfriends? It's like,
right.
We discussed kind of like, we show everybody kind of like the thinking process behind that, right? We already do that on the vlog. But it's like, to go back to have to edit videos. I mean, when I used to do that, I mean, it would be like an entire weekend of me editing.
Right.
It would probably be like a whole day filming and then spending the rest of the weekend editing. Right. And even though I have 600 something videos, it never was something that I kind of got the groove of.
Right.
It's like, I never got to a point where I felt like, that's like, oh yeah, I know what I'm doing now, and it's like, okay, like, this is something that, and it's like, that's why when live streaming, I discovered, it's like, I came across live streaming, I was like, oh, this is so much easier.
I'm in. Count me in.
Yeah, this is so much easier. It's like a one and done,
right.
And that's also a thing that I think once I drop that idea from the back of my head that I am not a content creator, I'm an artist who happens to do live streams.
Right.
But I am not a content creator. that's kind of like the last thing, because there's this camera that I'm looking at, right? That they're all using now. It's called an Osmo Pocket, right? And
Right.
it's like, and it comes with a little microphone. It's an expensive camera. It's like $700, right? But it's tiny. It's like this big. It's like you barely know it's there.
Right.
And I'm like going, oh, if I had that camera, I could vlog. I can kind of like do vlogs, right? And
'Cause
then
you
I'm
don't
like
do that
going,
already.
why? Right. So it's like I'm kind of trying to convince myself. It's like why? Why do you need to film at conventions? Doing a convention is hard enough. Am I really
Still
going to
pictures
vlog?
and a blog on your Substack after.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Right.
Right.
Just take pictures with my phone. Yeah, do a blog, put it on Substack, which I actually enjoy doing,
Right.
and call it a day.
Cell phone video. Nobody gives a fuck. I
Right.
can't tell you how many shaky ass fucking cell phone videos of my friends being at cons I'll sit through because they're going around with the little fucking shit ass pin mic.
Right.
Like, I'm gonna,
Right.
like, man, fuck all that fancy shit and
Right.
fuck all that time.
Right.
Like,
Yeah. So it's like, yeah. So it's like, because it's like, yeah, because that's what Sam does, right? He vlogs at conventions, he vlogs these conventions, he does his overview. But I'm like going, no, I don't know if I can do that. Actually, no, I know for a fact I can't do that. Like, because I was thinking of doing something for Monsterotica, but you know what? You're right. All I have to do is take photos. What do I need video for? Right? It's like all I have to do is take photos and document what the convention is like.
Right.
And do my overview.
And if there's something you feel you absolutely need to film, your goddamn phone has an amazing fucking video camcorder. Like, I mean, dude, it's these fuckers are badass.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So it's like, so that's
hell,
also
my cell phone camera is better than this piece of shit up here.
Right.
It costs as much as the damn phone.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Really. So that's also another thing, another reason why I want to kind of like cut out these voices, these extraneous voices, because they're giving me a false sense of what I should be doing as opposed to what I actually should be doing. Yeah, it's hard to concentrate people in the service and the convention. It's a pain. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Even something as simple as the library convention we were at, I was like, oh my God, would I have as dead as it was, because the library,
Right.
I mean, it's like I said, if there was 75 people there, it's like, would have wanted to been filming there? No, I don't want to do that.
So and I've never been one to like to film while I'm in the middle of doing something, because I want to be in that moment, not worry about directing the moment.
Right. Yeah. Really, it's like those memes of people at concerts, and it's like everybody is watching the concert on their phone,
right,
because they're recording it, and it's like, no, you gotta kind of like, yeah, it's like, oh, you just flipped the bird at your camera.
You're welcome.
That's what we do here. That's what we do here. In case everybody forgets what they're watching. Adobe Express is free, and you can use the pictures to make them look amazing for advertising. Right. So I have the whole suite. So yeah. Oh, but I think Adobe Express you can use on your phone too. So I mean, yeah. So you see, why am I making this complicated? Why? Because I'm watching children on YouTube. At my age, they're all
I'm gonna go get my Hooters shirt and booty shorts.
Right. I used to do that when I was 20. I used to go to conventions like that when I was 20. I'm not doing that now. But it's like,
just one more time for old
time's sake. Right. Yes. So, but that's the thing. I'm watching all these kids in their 20s doing shit that, is a lot easier to do. And you're a lot less self-conscious of doing when you're in your 20s.
Right.
I am not in my 20s. I haven't been in my 20s for a while. And it's like, you know what? No, I need to follow adults. I need to be an adult in this space. And I need to figure out what exactly it's like. Yeah, I am not a content creator. I am not going to, I have to, you know what? I have to commit to my nose. That's what it is.
Huh.
Right? No drama, no filming at conventions.
Right?
Right? No content creation outside of live streams, you know? Yeah, I am not a content creator. So I am not making videos. Period. So I think what I should do is I should go and delete that camera from my B&H wish list.
You already put it on there. Oh my god!
Yeah,
Get rid of that shit.
Yeah, no, I
dude,
need to delete that the way I unsubscribe to all these girls, Artist Alley girls, you know. And I just need to focus on the only other things on that wish list is a Surface Pro, the keyboard that goes with it, and I think it was a 24-inch
focus
Cintiq,
on that.
right? And the stand that goes with it. It's like
Right.
those I need.
Yeah,
I do not need the Osmo camera.
no.
You know,
Yeah.
because it's like, yeah, if I really wanted to have done this, I would have been filming on my camera already, on my phone,
Right.
already, right? But I don't do that either. So why am I thinking I'm going to do this? You know, so yeah, scrape the plate, commit to what you aren't. You know, commit to the fact that you are not a content creator, commit to the fact that, you know, you're not whatever it is you're trying to force yourself to do, but you know in your heart that's not you. Commit to not being that thing. If you are a comic book creator, you are a comic book creator. You are not a content creator. But if you make content, then that's what you do too. But do not, if you're trying to force something and it's
you can't
not,
be it all. You can't do it all.
Yeah, you can't. And I think it's time that we all kind of like look back into ourselves. It's like, okay, so what am I doing really? I'm doing comics. I'm doing furry art. That's what I do. You know, and it's like, and I do live streams. That's what I do. I like writing on my Substack. I like doing that. You know, I think I'm finally getting
peddling smut and blogging.
Right, exactly. That's what I do. You know, I'm actually happy that I think I'm beginning to see traction back on my Instagram.
God, it's so fucking dead.
You know, it's like all I've been doing on Instagram is just posting panels from Eagle Raven.
Yeah, I've been seeing you.
You know, right. The fact, and the thing is, and it's showing me every time I do a new post, every day I put up a new post, a new panel, and then I see like this little counter at the top. It's like, oh, this many accounts engaged. And every day I post, that number goes up. The illusion of content is stronger than the content. And some of the girlies are AI or just faking. Well, that's also true too. You know, I mean, it's amazing how much you can show the internet you can do if you just lie
they're
about
eating
it.
Zoloft like Pez to keep going.
Right.
Oh, like, so there's that too.
Exactly. There's that too. You know, so yeah, you know what? Commit to what you aren't. And you know, and so that way you can concentrate on what you actually are. You know, no, well, I could. If you're not doing it now, you're not doing it. I think I'm at an age where that's pretty much it. If I'm not doing it now already, I'm not doing it.
Huh.
I haven't done YouTube videos since I started streaming. I don't think you know what? No, I am not going. I am
ever
not
since the first time it said, "Would you like to go live?" Oh yeah. What?
Let's just-
Yeah, I fucking would.
What?
Yeah,
I don't have to edit. I don't have to do anything. Although I do have to admit, though, the reels that you were making from our live streams, they were pretty funny.
Yeah, I'm gonna get back into
in the
that
day, but
eventually. I'll have
that's
more
a good-
time now.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah, but only if you want to, because it's like there are all those
I
little
want to.
funny moments that are that are funny to rewatch, in 30-second increments. But so that's where I'm at, Nita. I'm not a content creator, and I'm not a content creator. That's it. That's all I got. How about you?
Yeah,
How about you,
I'm
Nina?
just here. I'm just here, Daphne.
Yeah.
I'm just a person, not a network.
Yeah.
Like, for real. Like I want to downsize those fucking dreams or aspirations or whatever the fuck kind of shit I was struggling going. I mean, I have been for the past year slowing down since I had my stroke. It was like, whoa, I gotta change some fucking things. If it doesn't bring me peace or pay me, I don't fucking need it in my life.
Right. Yeah. So, that's definitely how I'm feeling.
Right.
So so I guess we're all like burrowing in. So we're all like, okay, like we're gonna make our little cozy, scrape the plate, make the cozy burrow, and and just move into 2025 with as much peace as we can.
That's it.
That's it. That's all like So that's it. So any final thoughts or housekeeping or anything?
We got some campaigns listed in the show notes. Check them out. There's a lot of great stuff out there. Check out our Facebook page, Indie Comics Network. There's a lot of stuff on there that's getting put out, and that's another thing that I'm trying to do. Now that I have more free time, I'm not taking on any more paid jobs. I'll be able to share people out on the main page more, even though I'd rather you guys, if you want to engage and interact and get my memes and my regular bullshit, come to my new personal page, because the other one is going to be strictly marketing from here on out.
There you go.
Because I didn't want to throw it away. After I pulled all my friends off, I still had 25,000 followers. So it was like, I'm going to go ahead and keep that, because it would be stupid to throw that away. But I'm going to focus on my personal page.
Right.
That's where I'm actually at. The other's just a pump and dump.
Oh, well, there you go. It's like, look, we gotta, we gotta do what we gotta do, right?
Right.
And in the end, it's not really that much extra effort, I guess.
No, it's one extra post a day but I'm also going to start pulling stuff off of people who contribute to the Indie Comics Network group.
Right.
I'll pull some. I'll grab, I can't do a whole bunch because I'm limited on links, because because Facebook has that profile under fucking heavy lock and key. They're like, bitch, you posted a censored image. No, it's sex. We're taking you down. Or you posted a clean meme. Nah, fuck you. I'm sure it was bad. We're taking it down.
Right.
So I have to be careful with the amount of links I'm putting out and stuff on that one. But I want to grab a few out of the group each day and transfer them over there.
Oh, that's good.
That way there is a larger audience to see them. But
oh, there you go.
But if you want to engage with my bullshit, find me on my new one.
Right. Yeah. You're getting.
I'm not going to put the time on the other one too. I don't have the time for it. It doesn't bring me peace.
Right. Exactly. And that is the goal. That is the goal.
Right.
So thank you, everybody in the chat who joined us today. Thank you, all our lovely eyeball people who also joined us today. Today's what? Monday. Today's fun. I have to remind myself.
Monday all day.
It's Monday all day. Yes. So thank you so much for spending. You could be anywhere else, but you chose to be with us. Thank you so much.
Why?
Oh my goodness. So if you want to learn more about me and my artwork and all my other stuff and my campaigns, you can head on over to my main portfolio site at egoworks.com, EGOWORKS, where you can find links to all of my galleries and social media sites, but I mostly post to Facebook. If you're interested in seeing sketches and current work in progress updates, new werewolf boyfriends, if that's what interests you, they're all going to be on Facebook. And also remember that you can catch me on YouTube as well for all my videos, my pre-recorded videos on how I do my comics and artwork, and my semi-weekly art live streams Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Eastern. I probably should do one this Wednesday, 4 p.m. Eastern, where it's 2 hours of me just drawing whatever I'm drawing that day, talking with the chat. It's like being at a convention, but you don't have to worry about a display collapsing on top of you. And you can also read Eagle Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn, for free, uploading every day, Monday through Friday. But if you prefer your fantasy to be more of a furry Lord of the Rings adventure, you can follow the link over to Tall Tales. That's TAILSonline.com. And not only can you read the first 20 issues of Tall Tales for free, but you can catch up on the latest story arc, Tears of the Mother, which is also on Kickstarter, with 11 days to go for the first trade paperback of the story arc, collecting the first 4 issues of this 8-issue series. The link is in the show notes and in the chat as well. And also, you can read both Eagle Raven and Tall Tales for free on Webtoon. So we're just we're into the second issues on both series right now. So you can read Eagle Raven updates on Tuesdays on Webtoon, and Tall Tales updates every Thursday on Webtoon. Thank you, everybody who's reading it and subscribed to the 2 series on Webtoons and rating and giving their little ratings. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, so I don't know. I think it's a lot of fun seeing both those comics on Webtoon. I mean, you know what? Yeah, it's working out. It's working out. It's the same thing with the Instagram. It's like, you know what? When I finally figure out what I want to do with something, it all comes together rather easily. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. And in the words of the ancients, eat your food, moisturize, mind your business, and do the work. Because when you actually do the work, you never have to fake any of your accomplishments. Thank you so much again, and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're cool. And fuck you, I'm out.